guys, so it is finally Vlogmas. I'm so excited. However, we are having like a little bit of like a scheduling issue. I am starting the day before December 1st, which is November 30th, obviously, but I am going up to visit my grandpa, so it's kind of gonna be a scheduling endeavor, I guess. I feel like every year there's always something that happens at the beginning of the month or the end of November where I'm just like, how am I gonna get Vlogmas started off on the right foot? And so hopefully I can do that. The vlog that you're about to see is basically a collection of videos that I've taken throughout November, because if I was going to like film a vlog today, it would mainly just be like traveling, and that's not really exciting. So I'm just gonna show you guys a vlog that I would have posted in November but is now going to be posted as the first day of Vlogmas. So I hope you guys enjoy it and roll the clips. Okay, so I have so many things to update you guys on. Oh my gosh, it has been a crazy week. I don't even know where to begin. Where do I even start? Okay, so we had the election. That was terrible. That was honestly just a horrible, horrible day, and an even worse day after. That was bad. That was really bad. I kind of knew, I didn't know. I mean, I had a feeling, a pretty strong feeling it would happen, but I also had the hope that it wouldn't, and it unfortunately did. So I have been grieving all week. It is Friday, and I have just been doing a lot of cleaning, a lot of self-care, a lot of like talking to my friends and checking in with people and trying to figure out what our next steps will be. And it's just a lot. It's a lot. And I've also dyed my hair, as you can probably tell. Like, it's not super noticeable because I really didn't want it to be. I just wanted it to be like kind of like a warm caramely brown highlights. And so I did that throughout kind of the bottom of my hair. You can definitely see it on this side, I think. But I feel like I didn't go high enough, so I think I'm gonna get another box and just kind of like try to put it up higher in my hair and maybe do some in my bangs as well, and also do some like front pieces. So yeah, I did that. And also I finished Intermezzo today by Sally Rooney. I know this vlog was supposed to be more about like me reading this book and like telling you guys my thoughts and feelings like throughout my time reading it, but unfortunately it just didn't work out that way, mainly because of the election and also kind of because I didn't really enjoy this book that much. Definitely a huge bummer. I'm really, really sad that I ended up not liking this book. I did end up giving it a 3 out of 5 stars. I felt like it was kind of important to like rate it for just like for me. But yeah, this one I just ended up not really connecting with. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I don't typically like to read books solely from the perspective of like white allo cishet men. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like not my thing. And I kind of thought like, oh, you know, I can look past it. It's Sally Rooney. There's no way I'm gonna like totally hate this book. And I didn't end up totally hating this book. I did give it 3 out of 5 stars. I think that there were some strong points in this book, but overall it just ended up being very meh and definitely fell flat for me. I will say that I had to reread a lot of like the first chunk of this book because it just like was not connecting in my brain. Like I was not making those connections. I could not figure out who was talking, who each character was, what the relationships were. It was just all very muddled in my brain. And I had to reread this like first, I'd say like 20% of the book 3 times in a row. Like literally 3 times in a row, because I was like, there's something I'm missing. I'm missing something and I'm not hearing it. I don't know what's going on. And so that really put a damper on my reading experience for this book. I just felt like it was very all over the place. I felt like we were constantly jumping from like one brother to the other brother, and it just really muddled everything in my brain. I wasn't really fond of either of the characters. There were moments for each of them where I was like, okay, I kind of like this character, and then it would kind of go back to me being like, oh, I don't really care about this character. And I just felt like, you know, you kind of come into this book at a weird moment where I felt like it just didn't really have the same impact as I wanted it to have. You start off this book where you're at the funeral, their dad has died, and it's kind of setting you up for like the fallout of their grief and stuff like that. The way that grief changes their relationship as brothers, and kind of illuminates a lot of the issues that they've been having for years. However, I felt like a lot of the focus was on the dad himself and like his presence in their lives and how different their experiences with their dad were. And I just felt like it didn't really work as well, because I didn't really feel like I knew the dad, and I don't think that their relationships with their dad illuminated any part of their character for me. I will say that this might have been maybe better received by me, I'm not really sure, if I had read this before I saw the movie His Three Daughters, which I really enjoyed. It's on Netflix if you want to go see it. It's very, very good. But that book is basically about these three sisters, and they're all very, very different. They all kind of like have their own lives going on, and they all had very different relationships with their dad. However, I felt like that movie kind of did better character work than this book did, which is kind of surprising for me to say, because I feel like for me, as someone who prefers books over movies, I typically find the character work in books to be done better than the character work in movies. But this one is totally flipped. Like, I felt like these characters were so flat, and just like I could not reach them on an emotional level. I just felt like I couldn't get there with them. However, in that movie that's kind of similar, it definitely made me feel for those characters and really see them in their perspectives and how, you know, the family dynamics were working and their relationships with each other. And you could see a bit deeper of how their lives were impacted by their dad and how their personalities were shaped by the ways in which they had interacted with their dad. So it kind of worked a little bit better than this book did. You guys know me. I love characters. I love family dynamics. It wasn't working. That's all I can really say. Like, there just wasn't that spark. There wasn't that thing. And I was just like super disappointed by this book. Like I said, there were some good moments. I think that, you know, the Sally Rooney voice was there, and a lot of the same like themes and topics that she usually touches upon are also present in this book. I just didn't feel like it came together in a polished way, in a way that was going to emotionally affect me. I think it had all the right parts. It's just like, how do you put those parts together? And I felt like Sally Rooney kind of like lost herself a little bit throughout this book. It could be the size of it. I think it might be one of her longest books, so maybe a really long book is just not her thing. But yeah, I personally wouldn't recommend it, but I mean, maybe if you really like male perspectives, maybe if you, I don't really know who to like recommend this book to, because I would say like, oh, if you really like chess, you might really like this book, but there's not really a lot of chess in this book. I was actually really surprised. I was kind of going into it thinking, oh, chess might play more of a role in this book, and I felt like it didn't. So yeah, kind of a disappointment on all fronts. But now I need to figure out what book I'm gonna read next, and so I have no idea. I am thinking of going on Hoopla and trying to like pick out a book, or maybe just like picking a book from my bookshelf. That might help, but I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what I'm going to be reading next. So I'm going to think about it, and I will come back to you guys and let you guys know what I end up picking. Hey everyone, so it is Saturday, and I just got back from the gym, as you can probably tell, because I have like my sports bra on and t-shirt, my hat, my hair's up in a ponytail, and I got coffee. I already had my coffee. I do want to make another one, but we'll see what happens. I made breakfast this morning, I had some lunch, and now I'm feeling like I just want to chill for the rest of the day It's actually beautiful outside. I think it's about like 70 degrees. So I was thinking of taking a book and sitting outside for a little bit, but I'm not sure what book I want to take outside with me. So I'm gonna figure that out. I do have some options. Obviously, I have a lot of options, but I'm like kind of debating on like what I'm feeling in the mood for. Like, do I want to read a romance book? Do I want to read a literary fiction book? Fantasy? I'm not sure. I could kind of go back to a book that I do technically need to finish, which I still haven't finished. I know, crazy, but that is Uprooted by Naomi Novik, and I think I am at page 209. And I do remember a lot of what happened in this book because I did start it last year, so it hasn't been all that long since I've picked it up, but it has been a long time as well. So I'm like, maybe I should just like pick this book back up and like get back into it. I can't even remember why I put it down. I genuinely don't remember. So I'm thinking maybe I'll just pick this one back up because I would like to get it finished, especially during the fall time. So I'm thinking like maybe I'll just pick this one back up. And honestly, I think just about halfway through. That looks about halfway through, right? So if you don't know what Uprooted is about, basically it's an adult fantasy novel, and it's about this village, and there is like this magical wizard guy, and he rules over this village, and every 10 years he picks a girl from the village to kind of like live with him and be his kind of like right-hand woman, I guess. And this time around, everybody thinks that it'll be this girl, I believe her name's Cassia or something like that, but it ends up being the main character, Agnieszka, and she ends up going to live with him, and magic stuff happens. There are spooky, scary things in the woods, and yeah, so that is what Uprooted is about. That's a terrible, terrible description of this book, but I do want to finish it up this season, and so I will definitely get to it. I think this is going to be the one that I go take outside to read. Exciting things are happening. I'm picking up books again, and yeah, I really wanted to read something because I'm like, I want to get off my phone for just a little bit. I need some like time away from my phone, some space. It's just a lot has been happening lately, so I'm like, you know what, let's just do something where I don't have to be looking at my screen constantly. I did also start an audiobook last night, so I could always do that as well, but I got this from Hoopla, and I was kind of having a tough time finding an audiobook because I did try to start this like YA fantasy book, or I guess it's like YA horror-ish kind of book. I'm not going to talk about it because I ended up DNFing it, and I DNF'd it pretty early, so I don't really want to like drag it on my channel, but I really didn't like it, and I think I just have to come to terms with the fact that I just don't really enjoy YA anymore, and I haven't for years. Like, it's just been very few and far between are like the YA books that I enjoy. So unfortunately I have to come to terms with that, but I did end up picking up an adult romance book, and this is Cole and Layla Are Just Friends by Bethany Turner, and it has kind of like a fall vibe on the cover, so I was like, this might be perfect for this time of year. And it's very obviously like a friends to lovers situation, which I absolutely love. And so I am kind of enjoying it so far. It's a little bit like meh in the beginning, but I'm hoping that it'll pick up and that it'll be a little bit more interesting. I do really like the main female character, but I'm just not quite sold on the male main character just yet. I will say their friendship feels a little bit not like a friendship. You know what I mean? Like, it's very clear that they're friends. It's very clear that they've been close their entire lives, but like, maybe it's just me. I'm not a very touchy-feely person. So seeing these two people who have known each other their entire lives and who have been friends for basically their entire lives, and they're just very touchy-feely. They're very like hugging and like touching and whatever, and I'm just like, I don't think that if I had known like my guy friend for like my entire life, if that's how I would be with him. I mean, maybe, but I don't know. I'm just not a touchy-feely person, so that could just be me. Let me know down below in the comments if you are also not a touchy-feely person. Maybe it's normal, maybe it's not. I don't know, let me know. But yeah, so I am going to go outside. Actually, first I'm gonna make a cup of coffee, and then I'm gonna go outside and enjoy the sunshine and read my book. Hello everybody, it is Sunday and it is football Sunday. Obviously, I just got done watching a lot of football games. I watched my 49ers. They ended up winning at like the very last second, which was great. I also had to go and drop off a package at the post office because somebody ordered a little bundle from my Pango bookstore. And just as a reminder, I do have a Pango bookstore. I have, I think at this point, over 80 books in that store. So if you want to go check it out, the link is down below. I offer free shipping on orders over $20. So if you are ever interested, definitely check the link down below. You can follow me on Pango Books and just see whenever I drop some new stuff. But yeah, I have a pretty great selection of books if I do say so myself. But also we ended up going to get a coffee and here it is, lovely, delicious. I am enjoying it. And I did just finish editing up my newest video, which is probably already up by the time you're seeing this. And yeah, it's just been a really eventful week, guys. It really has. And I'm still reeling, honestly, still reeling. Also, this morning, I actually started a new book and I ended up picking up Half a Soul. And this is basically kind of like a fantasy Regency historical novel, and it's a lot of fun. And basically it's about this young woman, and when she was a child she ended up getting kind of like cursed, I guess, by a fairy, and she got some of her soul taken away from her, and so now she's just kind of like not really a husk of a person. Like, she's still like a person and she still has like, you know, thoughts and like does stuff and whatever, but like a lot of her emotions were kind of like taken from her. And I am loving her perspective so much. It's so interesting. It's so like weirdly relatable in a way. Like, there are parts of it that I'm like, oh yeah, that's like kind of how I just normally think, but it's, I don't know, it's really cool. I'm loving this concept and I really like the writing style. It's just a lot of fun. It's just like very like compulsively readable, so I'm really enjoying it. Also, as you guys know, I read a little bit more of Uprooted and obviously I'm loving it. I totally forgot how much I was enjoying this book and now that I've picked it back up, I'm like, oh yeah, that's why I was like inhaling it when I first started it. So hopefully I will finish that really soon. Also, I need to put together some books for like a book recommendations video, so I need to do that at some point. And yeah, I'm still trying to decide what I'm going to do for Vlogmas this year. I definitely want to start a list. And yeah, I feel like that's everything I need to update you guys on. I'm enjoying the books I'm reading. I'm feeling like, you know, I might be getting out of this like book funk. I don't even want to call it a slump because it wasn't really like a true slump. I guess it kind of was. It took me forever to finish Intermezzo, and even after that I just kind of felt like, oh, I don't really want to pick up a new book, and I kind of went through a lot of different audiobooks trying to find what I wanted to read. But yeah, I ended up settling on Half a Soul, and honestly, settling is like the worst word for it because I'm loving it so far. So yeah, just wanted to give you guys those updates. I don't know if I'll update you guys again today, but tomorrow we have to go pick up my mom from the airport because she has been in Michigan for the past few days. So me and my brother are gonna go to the airport and pick her up tomorrow, so that'll be a lot of fun. We haven't seen her for a few days, so I have been missing her a lot. I feel like that's everything for now. I do need to get my video uploaded, so I'm gonna go do that, and maybe I will update you guys later.
It's a terribly unhappy man. He wraps himself up in very serious matters and rarely gives himself the opportunity to rest and enjoy himself. I don't by any means expect that he shall suddenly fall in love with society rules, but perhaps a delicious meal and a dance or two shall do his heart good. And
this is just a quick little PSA because look at how great these eggs look. I followed Gordon Ramsay's egg recipe, like scrambled egg recipe, And for so long, I was so anti it because it just like looked too wet in my opinion. But when I tell you that those are some of the best scrambled eggs I've ever had, believe me, truly believe me, they're so good. Try them for yourself, give them a shot. You won't regret it. At least I don't think you will, because they were truly so good. Anyway, here's me making my cup of coffee in the morning. I have started to use my Christmas cups because I feel like 'tis the season, right? And also I did decorate my room a little bit. I ended up getting this beautiful tree actually from the Dollar Tree. It was only $1.25, and I got like the little Christmas ornaments for $1.25 as well, and I used a ribbon that I already had, and it looks so cute. This ribbon garland that everybody absolutely adores and I love as well, it's from Michael's, but I bought it like years and years and years ago. But anyway, that's all for me, and I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog, and I will see you guys literally tomorrow.